Module 5, Lesson 8's objective is to represent parts of one whole as fractions with number bonds. Item 5 says, draw a number bond with two parts showing the shaded and unshaded fractions of each figure. Decompose both parts of the number bond into unit fractions. I'm going to underline the important details so that I don't forget anything when I'm completing my work. I need to draw a number bond. I need to show the shaded and unshaded fractions. And then I need to decompose both parts into unit fractions. Let's look at item A. First, I'll draw the number bond. The top circle should have the number 1 in it because the number 1 represents the whole illustration. Now, one of the circles needs to represent the portion of the illustration that is shaded. Let's count how many pieces there are in the entire illustration. 1, 2, 3. There are 3 parts of this illustration, so I'll put a 3 on the bottom part of the fraction. Now, let's figure out how many parts are shaded. 1, 2. 2 out of the 3 parts are shaded, or 2/3. Now, the next fraction has to be the portion that is unshaded. Again, we know that there are 3 parts to the entire illustration, and looking at the illustration again, we can see only 1 is unshaded, or 1 out of 3, 1/3. Now we need to decompose the fractions in the number bond so that they are into unit fractions. Well, I know that 2/3 is the same thing as 1/3 and another 1/3. Now we have them decomposed. This is a unit fraction of 1/3. This is a unit fraction of 1/3. And this is a unit fraction of 1/3. Each piece of the illustration has the unit fraction 1/3. Let's look at item 5B. First, I'll draw a number bond. Again, the entire illustration is one whole illustration, so I'll put the 1 in the top circle. Now I'll count how many parts there are to the illustration. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 parts to the illustration, so I'll put a 5 on the bottom of the fraction. Now, how many parts are shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of the 5, or 4/5, are shaded. Now, for the other circle, this will be the fraction that is not shaded. Again, there are 5 pieces in all, and this time I see that only 1 out of the 5 is unshaded, or 1/5. Now it's time to decompose the fractions into unit fractions. 4/5 is the same thing as 1/5, another 5th, a 3rd 5th, and a 4th 5th. Now you can see that they have been decomposed. Each part of the illustration is worth 1/5. Now you do item 5C on your own. Let's look at item 6. It says, Johnny made a square peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He ate 1/3 of it and left the rest on his plate. Draw a picture of Johnny's sandwich. Shade the part he left on his plate, and then draw a number bond that matches what you drew. What fraction of his sandwich did Johnny leave on his plate? Let's underline the important details. He made a square sandwich. He ate 1/3 of it and left the rest on his plate. We need to draw a picture of Johnny's sandwich. We need to shade the part he left on his plate. We need to draw a number bond that matches what we drew. And then we need to answer the question, what fraction of his sandwich did Johnny leave on his plate? First, let's draw a square since his sandwich was a square. Now we look at the fraction that he ate. It says that he ate 1/3 of it. That means that the sandwich has to be divided into 3 equal pieces. It says to draw a picture of Johnny's sandwich, which we just did, and now it tells us we need to shade the part he left on his plate. We're not shading the part that he ate, we're shading the part that he left on his plate. If he ate 1/3 of it, I'll go ahead and label that part the part he ate. That's 1 out of the 3 pieces. And now we're going to go ahead and shade the part that he left on his plate. So if he only ate the 1 piece, that means he ate the 1/3 or 1 out of 3 and left the rest on his plate. So I'll shade that now. All right, now I followed that directions. I've shaded the part he left on his plate. Now it says I have to draw a number bond that matches what I drew. So here's my number bond. The entire sandwich is 1 whole sandwich, so I'll write a 1 there. In the first circle, you write a fraction that represents the amount that he ate. And in the other circle, you write the fraction for the amount that he left on his plate. And then it says, what fraction of his sandwich did he leave on his plate? So now we have to answer that in a complete sentence. What fraction of his sandwich did Johnny leave on his plate? Johnny left blank of his sandwich on his plate. Remember, when we have story problems or word problems, we read, draw, write. Those are the steps that you have to take. You finish it up on your own now. Good luck.